I'm so glad we met and you invited me to this conversation. And it's always nice to keep it as a conversation instead of like, because that's how like a great ideas come to shine. And absolutely, I like both of those topics about like how we can teach younger people, but also older people to live like longer years healthier because we don't want to live more years, but in really poor health, right? And on that end, I want to say that when it's this is really hard topic because I don't believe there's one solution. Like there is like you need to exercise, you need to eat, you need to do this, take some vitamins, or take this or do this. What I think it's the most important thing, and a lot of people forget about, it's not how much you do, it's like how consistent you are in doing all of those things. And it's not only about physical, but also mental, because we see all of those, and I see a lot of companies innovating Alzheimer's dementia space and also like lifestyle living healthier space. And most of those companies focus on physical, so activity, they focus on like diets, they focus on all of those like related to your physical health. So go check checking your blood pressure, glucose level. And I do believe it's a combination in between mental health and how well do you feel you're living your life, how much purpose like you feel you do have. And that's also alongside with your physical well-being, so taking care of yourself, and doing it consistently, like not just like today I'll exercise 2 hours and tomorrow and the next week I'll do nothing. So it's like small steps, and making something like as a ritual, it becomes like mind shift. Like this is how you mind shift. And another thing that I do believe in, it's like we don't need to pressure ourselves to do all of those things, like meaning that we need to be gentle to ourselves, like if we want to achieve something, because like what I've seen is some people get really into, I need to do all of those things in the list to live longer. And they're putting a lot of pressure to themselves that they need to do that. So I think like living longer, healthier, it's all about finding the balance for yourself into things that you like, doing it consistently, and then don't do the really harmful things like taking drugs, or eating too much excess food that it's like not good. I mean, it could be tasteful, but it's not good. Like all of those things that we know that we don't need to do.
Okay. Joanna, one of the core messages is the shift from reactive care to preventive and proactive health. Okay. What needs to change in systems, in health plans, in mindsets, public policies to make prevention to new the full in aging?
Okay, so that's like a tough question, I would say, like because especially when it comes to Europe, because of the different countries, there is a different style of how people take care of themselves. So what we're seeing, like when we talk about preventative versus reactive, we see budgets in healthcare budget. We have a general free health, universal healthcare, like for people. Of course, we do pay through our taxes to afford that, but in general, it's like you can say it's like either low cost or free. But people are not, we see government spending way more on their healthcare budgets on reactive. So treating diseases instead of preventing diseases. And this pile of money grows on their end. But we're not seeing any policies. We're seeing some activities, for example, like checking for melanomas or breast cancer awareness or checking on your thyroid, issues, something that happens once a month every year. Like it's not something that it's dedicated, educated, and structured in a really good way. This is one of the problems. We don't have these initiatives like on a government level, but we also don't have the initiative from the people itself. So that I do believe in, it's the major challenge. It's especially in Europe, especially in some parts of Europe. People go to the doctor only when they could not walk. This is what I do believe needs to be in education phase, both for governments and also both for people, that they need to go and think about their health before they get the symptoms that they're not feeling well. And I want to add another layer here, and that's the technology. Because now we have the technology, we have the AI, we have a ton of apps and wearables that track everything here and there. I think we should think about how this technology could help people and governments and create a protocol that actually could support preventative, not reactive care. Because if we reach the reactive care, then it's too late. I mean, if you have really reached to the point in your older adult when you need this, then it's the time for your recovery going back to it's way longer. It's way longer.
I agree, because in fact, I always tell, we don't have health insurance, but we have disease plan.
Yeah.
Not health plan, okay?
I agree that we need more personalized care, more individual care, because we all have a different lifestyle, and also we need to have affordability. I have seen, I talk with a lot of companies nowadays, and they have those solutions. They have those big robots, they track everything. They track all of the blood pressure. They move with you. But could an older person living in a small village or a small city could afford that? I doubt that. I doubt they could afford that. Some of this technology, it's absolutely not affordable for 80-90% of the population. And there is so many policy that needs to go in place to fix that. But they need to be made affordable, definitely. If we want a solution, we need to be simple and affordable. Otherwise, it will be hard to be adopted by people of any age, not only older adults.
You work closely with startups, investors, healthcare systems, technologies, and policymakers. In ecosystems that is still high fragmented, what are the keys to building real collaboration and cross-border innovation?
I think what will make it easier is access to a single place where people can communicate and share, discuss, and then access people with similar views and ideas. Meaning that if you are a company that creates a solution, you have to have a place or access or communication with a senior living community to pilot this product, right? And that's the friction and hard thing here. So I think the best thing to make the fragmented market work together is to have a single hub. It's if you think about a train station. So if you want to go from city A to city B, like you go to train station because there will be a train that goes in this direction. Right now there is no trains. It's like if you want to go from city A to city B, you're lost. Where I should go, which road? Wow, like there is no roads that connect. Like there is no a single train station that could put you in the direction to accelerate your innovation and to make like the public adopt that innovation. It's not only about innovation, it's about people using that innovation because that's the most important thing, I do believe.
One more question. Many solutions are designed to older people, but not necessarily with them. What changes when older people are truly included in co-creation, user research, and human-centered design from the very beginning?
I think that's how it should be. Like every research should include like older adults into the making. What I have seen from my experience, it's usually they are included one way or another. So most of the companies that create those solutions, they created because they had to take care of their parent that had dementia, or they saw that their mom had this problem or this challenge, and they created this tool to solve that. And we stopped there. But they have never had like a board of older wise people come and do that. And that's why like in many cases they fail into going to the market. So one of the tough decisions a lot of companies within this stage and creating into longevity, it's actually they realize that their product, they cannot reach to the market, right? That's like a big challenge. So they create this watch or a app, right? Or something else, whatever, like, or a robot or whatever they create. And they test it in a small portion of their really close circle of people that they actually created for. And when they go to the market, they realize, okay, so how people don't use it? How do I talk to those people? How do I do this? How do I do that? And that's why I think like when it comes to creating and even before going to market, I agree. I think like more of the people that are within this target audience needs to be involved in this innovation. So we're talking about doing something for a longer health span, longer health, like healthy living. But healthy living for you, it's different for healthy living for Jessica, right? It's like she has different lifestyle. She has different personality. She likes different things. Maybe she likes a lot to travel and you like, to be cozy at home. So all of those programs needs all of those, protocols of how you age healthier needs to be different because probably you'll be more likely to go to the gym while Jessica will be more likely to go hiking. And that's like how you create this. But if those people that create those products don't involve you in the process, then they will have some kind of a Frankenstein in between, like, go to the gym and go to here and do this and this, that you're just not going to use or not going to find like valuable because it doesn't speak to you. So definitely, I agree. We need to include more, companies need to include more older adults into creation of their innovations.
So we have just one more question. Thank you. Unfortunately, we are finishing. And Joanna, looking ahead, what is your long-term vision for the European AGETECH ecosystem? Is the first question. And the second is what message would you offer to innovators, leaders, and organizations who want to contribute to the future of healthy longevity?
So I have like a really optimistic and positive view on like European, but not only European, but general world like age-tech ecosystem. And my thinking is based on that I'm seeing like not only I'm seeing like older adults and younger people working in that to achieve that, and that's extremely important because like seeing this like intergenerational collaboration, like multi-generational collaboration, and seeing the need, then like when we do have demand, the supply starts to grow. So that's like kind of economic rule. Like if the demand it's more than supply, then the supply usually increases to cover the demand. And it will make economic, it will make economical valuable to do that, which means that we'll see way more funding. And when we see way more funding, we will see way more players try to act and then innovate in that space. But we're also seeing more education, and we're seeing more people working towards this, like people like you that are changing the landscape in Brazil, people like based in Europe that are changing the landscape in Europe and trying to support that. And that will push also government. So I think like I'm pretty optimistic. I do believe that we'll see a huge growth in age tech, and then like in products developed for and by older adults in the next 10 years, like definitely 10 years, like in 50 years, I don't know, like, but definitely the next 10 years we'll see that. And then I think the second question you asked was like about what is my message to people when it comes to
people who want to work with longevity in general. So leaders, organizations.
Okay, so the first thing I'll just say, it's like just do it. Like, you don't need a reason to do it. And then like you will age as well. So you will get older if you're lucky. And then you want to make sure that when you get older, you did the things that you will like to see, because this is something that we forget, and sometimes we act based on what's happening to us right now. And when we get older and start getting older, we start realizing, oh, like we could have done this and this and this. So I do believe that we need to act now, because we are gonna age at any point. And then try to put the stereotypes aside, because I think that's like what it's making a lot of companies or people don't want to step in, because they do believe in all stereotypes about like aging and older adults, and they don't realize how much positive that is for them, because older adults are a great example. And working with older adults that are 70 and 80, and the people that run their businesses, it made me, my personal story, it made me realize that it's never like too late to do things. Like this gave me motivation to continue, because there is some kind of thinking that when you reach a certain age, let's say 35, 40 or something, oh, okay, you already have done this into your career, so you have to stick with your career, right? That's not the case. Like you still have like double that years to do whatever you want, and then make the change. So if there is one takeaway, I will say like, just forget about stereotypes. Do that because you want to see your mom, your grandmother, your parents living better. And you want to also see you and your kids, because hopefully they'll age at some point having a better living as an older adult. So this is my purpose as well. Like, yeah.